Today's latest top stories from Blue Eye Media. And now from our global friendly partners.
All right, Senator Cory Booker, what is your immediate reaction to Trump's speech tonight?
I'm trying not to say the word disgust, but
Yeah.
when someone stands there and lies over and over and over again, the fact checkers are going to have a field day in this. In fact, they probably will earn a lot of overtime pay because he would just stand there and say things that we know are not true. Like the things he read that Doge did have already been invalidated by so many people. The fact that he completely over-exaggerated Americans' contributions to the war in Ukraine and undercounted what the Europeans have done. I mean, you go through every single step, and the audacity of him to say, "I'm the most successful president in my first 40 plus days." Well, we know all the things he promised to do are just not accomplished. In fact, it's gotten worse. Prices have gone up. Stock market and therefore people's pension funds and 401ks are down. We see a nation that's less safe from our infectious diseases abroad, like bird flu that are threatening us, to measles. I can go through the things that we're less safe, less prosperous, higher costs, higher inflation.
What's your message to Republicans who are applauding things like invading Greenland and Panama while GDP goes down, the stock market tumbles, and people are suffering?
I mean, that was the thing. My angle, you could see how they were forcing themselves to clap on things that they know are just bad policies.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of aggressive Putin-esque threats that he was making towards Panama, the Putin-esque threats he was making towards Greenland, that's not who we are. We believe in the rule of law. We believe in defending democracies. But there he stood up, just like Putin had, and threatened other nations that we're bigger, we're stronger, therefore you will capitulate to what we want, even if it means giving up your own sovereignty.
Trump just said a few minutes ago, we'll get Greenland one way or another. What's your response?
Did y'all vote for another war? Because I don't know who about to fight that war, but I'm not going. So y'all need to be paying attention because this dude is like really psychotic. This is not something that he campaigned on. And I want to know where the money gonna come from. Like, it costs money to like go out and get into war. As you're complaining about giving money to Ukraine, who's fighting their own war. But we're talking about costing us in the pocketbook as well as costing us in actual lives, American lives. This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it.
This dude wants to he doesn't want to fund the defensive war in Europe, but he wants to fund an aggressive war with the Panama Canal. Absolutely insane.
While occupying Gaza. But
yeah.
okay.
And building towers. What do you say to voters who voted for Trump because they thought he would lower prices, and now they've only gotten trade wars and the alienation of allies?
This is what I say. I say you got hoodwinked, and that's okay. That's okay. Because as I was just telling somebody just a minute ago, I have dated in my life. I know they've been talking about whether or not I'm married and all this other stuff. I'm not married, never married, okay? Just want to get that out there. But I have dated. And I will say, any of us that have ever dated, we've been hoodwinked a time or two, where we done sat there and we thought that he was gonna be so great for us because he sold us on all the things, or her, okay? And then we realized they ain't shit. That's where we are, and that's okay. What matters is that you wake up and you say, this is not the one for me. So even if you voted for him, what you should be doing right now is saying, he is not the one for me. And so if you decide that you're going to vote for a Democrat, whether it's in a local election, whether it's one of those special elections, because I wanted to get those 3 seats so the Democrats can control the House, just know that it doesn't mean you're a Democrat. It really means that you're a patriot. It really means that you care about this country and you're tired of him dismantling it one agency at a time while throwing money into his pocket, his daggone son-in-law pocket, his daggone brother-in-law pocket, his daggone friend Elon, or the real, president. I don't know what the fuck Elon is, but whatever. Throwing money into his pockets, it's time out. They stealing our money. People that cannot afford food right now are going to have to carry everything on their backs and not have any Medicare, not have any Social Security, not have a way to put food on the table while they go off and have $60 million weddings like Bezos. And I explained, Bezos gonna have enough for the third wife because it's the second.
Yeah, and Trump and Elon are completely insulated from all of the consequences of this, right? I mean, they're the richest people ever. Elon Musk is completely insulated from the consequences. I guess my final question to you relates to Ukraine. How did you read the Oval Office meeting between Zelensky and Trump?
It was awful. I was embarrassed because it was the opposite of what diplomacy should look like. And when you start to talk about, like, I need people to recognize that it was a terrible display of what we saw, okay? Mm-hmm. But I need them to understand the greater implications and what our allies saw. Our ally saw was someone who's supposed to be an ally that is sitting there and bullying another ally and is then also trying to extort him for the minerals that they will need ultimately as they're trying to rebuild. So extortion and belittling, that is not good for our allies to see, especially when you got people running around talking about invading all these other places. We need somebody who really understands that our friends and our enemies are watching. So I was devastated. I really was.
Follow Blue Eye Media for exclusive insights and breaking news sources from global-friendly outlets that you won't get from the mainstream TV and radio outlets of America. Learn how to play the flute of the globe and learn the real truth.